Namaste. It was autumn of 1983 and I was in grade 12. Don't start guessing my age. In our school, we had football tournaments every year, and this year we had about 8 teams come from all over North India, whether it's Dehradun, Gwalior, Indore, Ajmer, Delhi, etc. And the games were going on with full enthusiasm, and this one player, in each match, he was showing his wonderful skills and was becoming a star of the whole tournament. Everyone wanted to see this player in everyday matches. Next day, we were all sitting looking for this player, and this match was happening with the last year's winners. And suddenly, we saw that one player put his stud rubbed against his ankle, and his ankle became this big, like an elephant leg. I really don't remember who won the match, but I remember, and these made my philosophical beliefs so strong. Whether to win a match, you need to hurt somebody. To move ahead in life, you need to fight with somebody. All these things kept on working in my mind. As per research, we feel games are only for winning and losing. People don't want to really play games because they always nobody wants to lose, and everyone wants to only win. That is why they take doping, they use abusive language, they hit and push others. It's all about themselves, how they can only win. Even a few years back, Olympic creed changed, and they said that performance is more important than winning. But they did not change fully. I will come to it later. These things keep on happening. And when does this, you see a football match or a cricket match, people lose by 1 run, or they may go into penalty shots and they may win by 1 goal. Does that really matter? It doesn't. We all enjoy the game and we enjoy the whole match rather than that just winning and losing. I know sometimes the adrenaline rush is required, the climax. But again, we'll deal with it a little later. Where does this competition and the competitive spirit, the ranking all comes in from? It comes as early as age 3, when the parents tell their children, go for a drawing competition, go for a dancing competition, and I really freak out when they say, go for a fancy dress competition. Fancy dress? Somebody is dressed some way and the other person is dressed in another way. How can we really compare and compete? Then the most important part, all of us must have gone through it, the lemon and spoon race. And the parent says, you have to win. Come on, practice. I will practice with you after when I come back in the evening. And practice. We never feel what the child is going through. Never. Because we want our child to win. Child does not care, but it's the parent who wants to win. And this all leaves so much of a dent on the child, which we can really never imagine. Is it our education system or is it our society? But finally we say, somewhere it is happening. So let's talk about the education system. I remember Sir Ken Robinson speaking about it, that schools kill creativity. And why so, he said? Because schools prepare children only to go from one degree to the other or one level to the other. They lose their originality, they cannot create anything. And that is what the examination and the ranking system does for us. If we have to move away from it, what should we do? Anyone in this esteemed audience remember their ranks of class 8 or class 10 or even class 12? I'm sure most of us don't. You know why? Because we were not in the first 3. Or even if we were in the first 3, it does not matter today. Really? That's it. So that's what I'm saying. It's about not requiring ranking. And at this juncture, I remember of a story, not a story, a real thing that happened with me. I was in upper KG class, 1971, and I went for my report day. The teacher called me very nicely and said, "Deepak, come, congratulations, you're second in class." I said, "Thank you, ma'am." And I just went out. Because I knew between the three of us, my friends, we used to keep changing positions and ranks, so it did not really matter who came first, second, and third. But after a while, he called me back again. She called me back again. And she said, "Deepak, give me your report card." And she corrected something. And she said, "Now you're first." I said, "Now I'm first" means what, ma'am? She said, "Deepak, is no more." I don't know whether that being first was a happy or a sad moment. But I remember this even after 50 years now. Very clearly, emotionally. When we went back from school and passed his house, we saw a lot of people in front of the house, and we came to know that he was drowned in his own swimming pool. Was it jealousy because they were one of the richest people of that city, or something else? It's still a question mark. But do we really feel that this is what the world is all about? This is how the society moves? But all these things made my beliefs stronger and stronger every single day. And it was when we thought of starting the school, all these stories came back to me and we built up our philosophy. And also, at this point, I would like to quote John Lennon. Quote, he says, "My mother always told me that happiness is key to life. But when I went to school, they asked me what would I like to be when I grow up. And I wrote, happy. And the teacher said, sorry, it seems you have not understood the assignment." And I said, sorry, ma'am, but I think you have not understood life. Unquote. And these all things build our school philosophy, where we wanted our children to do things differently, with certain thing in mind and a certain goal in mind, with a vision. That's why all our practices in our school are so uniquely designed and different. We say namaste to greet everyone. We say blessed and unconditionally happy when anyone asks us, how are you? We ring no bells. We have sort of no discipline, but we make them responsible. We tell people what to do rather than what not to do, and so many more things. The core being competency over competition, which still a lot of parents don't agree with, because they are still in the rat race of ranking and getting more grades and working towards the future careers. I don't know what careers are they looking at by getting those grades and ranks. It went on. The system is built strong, our school system, and it's really going very, very strong. At this point, I would like to tell you what I tell my parents. When we talked about sports, I always want that people should play sports for the love of it, for fun, for fitness, for the joy that they get, and most importantly, the feel-good factor. Of course, the team spirit and other things are there. But when somebody tells me competitions can be healthy, I ask them, can any disease be healthy? I feel competition is a disease which is eating all of us from within. It's not only in schools or it's not only in sports, or it's not only in education, but it's deep rooted in our society. In simple things, we move on the traffic on the road and we do things because there's a penalty. It's not because we're compassionate about the others. We drive in a particular lane, or we jump the signal, or we wear seat belts. It's all for a reason. I sometimes go on a morning walk and I see somebody overtaking me. And then suddenly I feel that what he used to do on a regular basis, he's missed that. I heard a family going for a picnic and the child says, "Daddy, I want you to overtake this car." And the daddy says, "No, it's okay, we are going for a picnic." "No, Daddy, we want to overtake this car." And the daddy overtakes that car. And in that race, they're overtaking each other, overtaking each other, and they're racing and racing and running, and the car goes, we don't know where. Suddenly the daddy looks behind and sees that car is nowhere to be seen. That car has already taken a left turn and gone. And the family is already 20, 30 kilometers ahead of the family picnic spot. They've missed the picnic spot. And you know what happened? All stress. All stress. This is what we are looking for. Running in the rat race. Is life a race every day? It's so much in our society, you know. If I ask for unmanned borders, I'm a simple man with simple ideas where I feel everything should be with peace, harmony, and love. Why soldiers should die for the country? Why people want to encroach into others' property? Where are we wanting to go? What are we wanting to do? Let's sit back and think. When two brothers fight for property or for little bit of money, it really is very, very sad. Another story, not a story, again a memory, I would say. I was in Aligarh in my 20s and in my graduation. We were into petroleum business, and my father and my father's brother, uncle, they were together in the business. My father was a very simple man, unconditionally happy, and that's where I've got my unconditional happiness philosophy from. And my uncle was more on business. He was very, very hard on business. He was president of the country and things like that. He used to come to Aligarh. He was actually stationed in Delhi, but used to come to Aligarh weekly to check the accounts and check the sales, etc. And I was the one who used to go and sit with him for lunch. This day we were having lunch together, and he gets a phone call. And he has this conversation with his customer. And after he keeps the phone, I was in my 20s, and he tells me, "Deepak, please make sure this conversation does not go out of this room, otherwise you had it." A 20-year-old listening such words from his own uncle, I did not know what to say, but I knew why he said so. I had a cousin of mine who had separated from the family business and was doing equally well in the same line, and I was very, very close to him, and he didn't want me to tell him, as he knew I was smart and intelligent. But do we want to fight among family members? And for what? A few thousand or few lakhs here and there? Will that get happiness? Another friend of mine, we say born with a silver spoon. No, he was born with a golden spoon. Only son, with sisters, of course. Today, for last 30 years, are fighting in the court of law. They may have also used some fireworks on each other. And both are in stress, both the parties. Is that what life is all about? They're not enjoying life. The 92-year-old mother doesn't want to see the son whom she kept in the womb for 9 months. And keeping all this in mind, when we had our family partition with my uncle, I just moved away. I said, thank you very much. Whatever you have given, it's fine. And I moved to Goa. And these are the memories which have built my philosophical beliefs and the unconditionally living philosophy. I want people to live happily, peacefully, and unconditionally happy. How does that happen? Very simple. All of us know the food that mothers cook is the best. Yes? Why? There's an unconditional love in it. When you put unconditional love in something, automatically the thing will come beautiful, wonderful, lovable. We don't need to absolutely worry about any other ingredient, because love is the most important ingredient in anyone's life. And that is what if we can do without competing with others, without harming others, and just doing everything passionately with love. Nobody will have to worry. Nobody will have to tell you what to do, because you'll be doing everything with love and passion. So let's change our mindset a little. Think of unconditional love with unconditional happiness and forget the rat race. You will be successful. Success is not money. Success is unconditional happiness, friends. And let me end my session with a small, again, a little story. There was a man who was moving on a street and he just saw a park. And in the park there were a group of children playing. He went into the park and he spoke to those children. He had a pocket full of chocolates. He said, come on, boys and girls, I want to give you these chocolates. They said, wow, come on, come. No, wait. Again, that competitiveness in the mind of the man is so ingrained in us, He said, come on, all of you run from this tree to that tree. Whoever touches the tree first will get it first. The boys and girls looked at each other, held hands together, and said, 1, 2, 3. They all ran together and they all came first and said, Uncle, our chocolates. They ate the chocolates, happily hugged each other, shared with everyone, and that's what life is all about, my friends. Not running in the rat race, jumping on each other's shoulders, and wanting to get something which even we don't have. Life has given us in abundance. Don't worry about which college your child is going to or which university your son is going to. We will get it unconditionally happy. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.